Welcome back to Millwoods Recreation Center in Edmonton, Alberta. The 2012 Canadian Ball Hockey Championship men's gold medal matchup featuring 7-time national champion Montreal Red Lite versus 2010 champion Newfoundland Black Horse, as teams get set to play in the final game of this wonderful week-long tournament hosted by the Wild Rose Ball Hockey Association. Elio Pascuzzo alongside Mike Schweigart on the Canadian Ball Hockey Championship Network, proud to bring you live action here today. We will pause to honor our nation with the national anthem. As we get set for the ceremonial face-off here in Edmonton, our goalies for today's games for the Newfoundland Black Horse, number 1, Tim Barlow, has had a great tournament so far in leading them to the final, winning every game. And number 34, Sam Beauchamp for Montreal Red Lite. As CBHA President Shelley Callahan will take part in the ceremonial drop of the ball, Terry Ryan and Benoit Gilbert take part to give an official commencement to this great final. Mike, should be a dandy.
Yes, this is the game that everybody that is here this week has been waiting for. The women's teams have been waiting for the Women's National Championship Final. The men's teams have been waiting for the men's team's National Championship Final. They all wanted to be in this game. But here we are with two fantastic teams, the Newfoundland Black Horse and the 7-time champion Montreal Red Lite.
Anybody who plays ball hockey in our great nation plays for one reason: to have fun. The second reason, get to this game. We're off and running from Edmonton. Morency. Musto feeds it ahead, and Wadden will send it in deep. Mateo Stoico for Red Lite. The hulking, bruising defender in red. Morency sends it in deep, just too far for Vargas Diaz. Picked up by D'Amico. D'Amico feeds it ahead to Escott. Escott can't get it out as Corbet keeps it into Morency. Over to Vargas Diaz. Shot! Barlow, quick save. D'Amico corrals the rebound off to Musto. Musto with time and space. Sweetland. He'll let one rip. And that'll go behind the net. As Stoico sends Frechette wide. And he'll try to get it in front, but Terry Ryan is there. First round former draft pick of Montreal to thwart that. Brunet. Vargas Diaz. Wah! Shot! Save Barlow. Tipped into the corner where Justin Pender, who's had a monumental tournament on the back end, scoring, defending. 1:16 in to this men's national championship. Stretch pass attempted. Succeeding with Chris Parks. He'll dump it in. And Brunet will let Beauchamp cover it up. 18:30 left in the first. 0-0, Red Light, Black Horse. Montreal Red Light, of course, Mike, they're going for the record-breaking 8th national championship. Black Horse trying to retain that title that they won in 2010.
Yes, Elio, it's going to be a fantastic battle between these two teams. The leader of the Newfoundland Black Horse, Terry Ryan, he's been ill this week, spending some time in hospital with some kidney stones. He missed the semifinal game last night against the Vancouver Falcons, but the heart and the character of this Newfoundland player is second to none.
Red Light gets on the board first. Julien Brunet with diligent forechecking, and he releases his teammate for a big opening goal. Legree wires one, 151 into the game, and Montreal Red Light is on the board first. Get that ever important first goal of the game. Luc Dussault along the boards for Red Light. Dussault. Duguay with an attempt. Labonte. Here, Stinziani with a chance. And that just goes wide of the marker. And Newfoundland tries to answer back quickly. Vargas Diaz now getting ready to take the draw against Sean Wadden. 1-0 Red Light early. Big goal by number 99, Sean Legree, off the Julien Brunet forecheck. Corbeil, he'll send it deep. And that'll be blown dead for icing. 2:37 in. 2012 Canadian Ball Hockey Championship live from the Millwoods Recreation Center in Edmonton, Alberta. Men's gold medal matchup between the 2010 champion Newfoundland Black Horse and the 7-time champs, the Montreal Red Light. Morency, known as Magic to his teammates. D'Amico runs it down. Morency picks up the loose ball. Morency feeds Gilbert, who deflects it. Barlow steers it aside. Morency again. D'Amico bats it into the corner to create more space. Morency on him, along with Gilbert. That'll come back to the point, and Corbeil will take the shot. Musto battles for the rebound, and Vargas Diaz is there along the boards, and that'll be sent back where Stoico retreats. Mateo Stoico, finalist last year in Brampton with the Montreal Black Knights. Number 98, Daou, Joe Daou, to Stoico. He'll shoot, and that'll be in front of the net, where number 21 has an opportunity, Nicolas Guertin. 16:33 left in the first. Mike, Red Light off to a flying start.
Yes, Paul Waugh sure has his Red Light squad flying here today. Paul's the leader of this team. He runs the show behind the scenes as well as on the floor. Paul's a veteran player with 7 national championship titles, 4 world championship titles for Canada, and he's got his boys ready to go here tonight.
Yes, number 77, the outright leader and heart and soul of the Montreal Red Light franchise. Deep it goes, Barber. Barber curls around Waugh behind the net. Barber, as Newfoundland looks to even it up. Barber still trying to make something happen, cycles it down low to Andrew Doolan. Doolan, he'll get it back to Barber as they work the cycle game. Trying to penetrate, tries to slide it in front to no avail. Here comes the Red Light, and they displace, and Frechette had a glorious opportunity, but as number 21, Nicolas Guertin, trying to get off the floor after the equipment malfunction, he was offside, and that'll be blown dead. 4:08 into the game.
Martin Frechette for the Montreal Red Light. What a dangerous player he is. In this sport, he's known as a pure goal scorer. The man can score from anywhere.
Red light, Bejen, Serge Bejen bats it down. Couldn't be deflected by Brunet, and that'll go down for an icing call. 15:43 left on the Canadian Ball Hockey Championship Network. Elio Pascuzzo alongside Mike Schweigart, proud to bring you live action of this mammoth gold medal matchup between two teams with championship pedigree. Montreal Red Light in red, left to right on your screen. Newfoundland Black Horse in gold with the black shorts, right to left. Shot taken in by number 19, Mike Dyke, but Sam Beauchamp is there to corral and safely secure the ball. Goal scorer Legris wins the draw. Bejen loses it in front to Stinziani, and that one rings off the iron. Stinziani battling. Mike Stinziani with a chance, and that just goes wide. Relentless pressure by Black Horse here. Stinziani along the wall. He'll curl into his backhand, try to create. Gets it back to Dyke. Dyke takes a shot. That's deflected off LeBron and out of play. 15:08 left in a frantic first stanza here in Edmonton. 1-0 Red Light.
We see Andrew Sweetland coming off a shift there for the Newfoundland Black Horse. Andrew's had a great tournament this week. He's involved with the Florida Panther organization. He's played on their East Coast and their American Hockey League affiliate teams.
Duguay chips it up to Dussault, and Musto's there. Musto, cross pass to Wadden, but Duguay is there, and Stoico. But Newfoundland retains possession. Wadden with an opportunity. Back to Musto, who shoots just wide. And Parks waves at it frivolously. Musto now feeds number 8, Wadden, who shoots, and Beauchamp with the save. Behind the net to Ryan. Ryan loses it to LeBron. Cycle game behind the net. Wadden. Wadden comes out along the wall. Wadden feeds it back down low for Ryan, who fights with Corbet. Ryan and Corbet battle along the boards. They both fall. Good no call by the official, letting them play early on. 14:13 left in the first period. The national men's gold medal matchup. It's Montreal Red Light, as we mentioned before. Long storied history in this sport. Dominated the first part of this century. Lost that gold medal match in 2009 in Winnipeg, and is trying to regain that elusive national title. Barber sends one on the backhand. No problem for Beauchamp. Newfoundland Black Horse on the other end, dominating teams in the 80s. St. John India Bears, St. John Celtics, and Best Western Travelers. With 4 titles in that decade, Black Horse joined them in 2010. Here comes Morency, and it's too fast as his teammates are ahead of the game. Crowd into it here in Edmonton. Both teams with ample support, as you can hear in the background. Musto sends it, gets out of the zone, but Wah is there to send it to Morency. Gains the zone. Nifty stick handling, but loses it. Bishop, Jeremy Bishop to Musto. Musto, he'll go back to number 88, Dooland, who shoots. And a sellout effort by Nelson Vargas Diaz will stop play with 13:37 remaining. And as I mentioned, Newfoundland with a storied tradition in this sport. 4 national titles in the 80s, Mike, and a 5th one in 2010. Looking for that province's 6th national crown.
You know, number 88 for the Newfoundland Black Horse, Andrew Dooland, was a late pickup for this team. Scouted at the 2012 Eastern Regional Championships, playing for the team out of Labrador City, Labrador. Fantastic player. He's fit right in and had a great tournament this week for his home province of Newfoundland.
Carl Gilardaucci feeds it ahead to Daou. Daou hounded by O'Keefe, who's had a great tournament. Daou goes to the forehand, tries to release. Not enough time, but there's a pass to the slot, and Frechette. Glorious opportunity off the feed from Guertin, but Frechette cannot score. And Barlow keeps the deficit at 1 for Newfoundland Black Horse, and they'll change with 13:15 remaining in the first period. Late news on the injury front. One of the Red Light strong players, Yannick Lebonte, out of this game with an upper body injury. Suffered in the semifinal last night. He had a great semifinal against Calgary. Gilarducci over center with those long legs and that stride to Guertin. Barlow there to stop it. Gilarduccio fakes to the forehand, just wide. Rebound for Frechette. Barlow post to post to make that stop. Red Light still tries to keep it in, just gets out as Daou can't keep it in. Sends it to Simon Forest. Forest with a nice move. Little too nice as Guertin is called for the offside. 8:18 left in this gone in this exciting first period. Red Light 1, Newfoundland Black Horse 0. Joey D'Amico, solid tournament back to Musto. Ahead to number 16, Tyler Gale. He'll send it deep, and Legree will have to retreat for Red Light. He'll reverse the play back to Matteo Stoico, number 55. Corbet. Stoico and Corbet patiently get it in. D'Amico. Legree gets it in. Musto chases it down. D'Amico. Off the wall. Tyler Gale will have a chance, but he can't get it out. And Stoico loses it. Corbet loses it to Gale. Gale with an opportunity. He'll turn and fire. Corbet recovers to block that shot. D'Amico keeps it in on the pinch. Joey D'Amico sends it into the slot to Bishop. Bishop to the backhand. Just wide. Stoico hounded by Bishop. Bishop with relentless forechecking. Barber tries to wrap around, but Corbet is there. Tired legs on the floor for Red Light, and Newfoundland tries to take advantage. $11:21 remaining. First period action. 2012 Canadian Ball Hockey Championships from Edmonton, Alberta. Ian Hollett on the call from Newfoundland, along with Darsh Grewal representing British Columbia. 35 years of national championships in the Canadian Ball Hockey Association, and this one promises to be another one that'll go down in history and in the record books. Jovial crowd here in Edmonton as Barber takes a shot, and that's deflected by Waugh. Bishop now in the corner, battling, trying to create space as Duguay's all over him. Barber sends it towards the net. Beauchamp has had a stellar tournament. Covers up. 11:04 remaining in the first period. 1-0 Red Light on the goal by Sean Legree. Packed house here in Edmonton. All the stands are on one side behind the player benches, so they overhang over the player benches so the players can hear everything as the fans start to chant for their respective teams and the sport in general. In the slot comes up in Sweetland. Oh, so close on the feed from Stinziani to tying this up. Pender retreats. O'Keefe almost gets his place, and he'll get a penalty as he steamrolls Nelson Vargas Diaz and is called for the head contact. 4 minutes for number 11, Patrick O'Keefe.
Patrick O'Keefe from Newfoundland Black Horse has had a great tournament. He's been one of the most dominant defensemen in this tournament. Everybody knows him. All the other teams know him. They mark him. Unfortunately, he's taking a penalty here now. And Elio, as we spoke last night, you know what that's like with this Montreal Red Light. They have a great power play, and don't be surprised to see them add to their tally here.
Spoke to Ian Moores before the game, coach of Newfoundland Black Horse, and he reiterated they can't afford to let Red Light get their vaunted power play on track. Their power play is one of the best in the nation. Morency, he'll control. Vargas Diaz, Morency. Shoots! Barlow with the save. Musto calmly sends it down as we near the halfway mark in an exciting first period here from Edmonton. Brunet, Jeremy Brunet, he'll fire one on Barlow, who's equal to the task. D'Amico's there, but he'll give it up to Duguay. Mathieu Duguay in front to Nelson Vargas Diaz. Scorer of a beautiful goal in last night's semifinal, but he can't connect. And both teams will change lines with 3:26 remaining in this power play, 9 seconds away from the halfway mark. The men's national gold medal game from Edmonton, Alberta. Montreal Red Light on an early goal by Sean Legree leads Newfoundland Black Horse 1-0. Frechette loses the ball, but Waugh tips it in, and Pender sends it down to kill valuable, precious seconds off this power play. Red Light behind Daou. Joe Daou deflected off Chris Parks and out of play. Blown dead with 9:47 left in the first period. Montreal Red Light earning their place in the final with a quarterfinal win over Edmonton and then a semifinal win over Calgary. So they had to go through both Alberta teams to get here. Newfoundland Black Horse, by virtue of their 4-0 round-robin record, received the bye into the semifinal and then defeated the Vancouver Falcons to punch their ticket to this match. Waugh shoots it by Barlow. Pender turns around and fires it down. As the Red Light power play having difficulty penetrating and gaining the zone off the pass, and they've reverted to the shot the last couple of times. Frechette can't handle that, and Pender runs it down. Pender will send it around to Dyke. Dyke back to Pender and down. Chased by Stinziani, who's dangerous on the short-handed roll. Beauchamp to Waugh. Comes across to Corby. Possession gained. Nicolas Guertin. Brunet shoots. Barlow with the save. And equally impressive, not allowing the rebound. 8:42 left in the first. They're halfway through their power play opportunity. Red Light is with 1:59 remaining on the head contact call to Patrick O'Keefe. Coach Moores sends out Bishop to take this key draw against Vargas Diaz for Red Light.
Vargas Diaz, he's had a fantastic tournament as well, Elio. He's been dangerous. You hear people talking about him around the arena. He played with the Team Portugal program in 2011 at the World Championships in Bratislava, Slovakia. And I know the Team Canada scouts will be looking at him this week.
Brunet with the blast. And that's deflected by Bishop. Yes, Vargas Diaz having a really good tournament, both in the round robin and in the aforementioned goal last night versus Calgary, scoring a big goal in that semifinal matchup. 1:40 remains on this power play opportunity. 8:23 remaining in the first period, as we'll have that draw retaken on the infraction to Newfoundland. Pumped up crowd here in Edmonton as both of these teams searching to be crowned national champions for our great sport of ball hockey in this country for 2012. Jeremy Brunet patiently trying to see an opening. He'll fan on the pass as he saw Morency there for an opening. Now he'll try to send it through, but Bishop equal to the task. Brunet sees Morency come around and he'll try a different route. Brunet tries to take a shot, and that's blocked by Musto. And zone not gained. Face-off, 7:49 left.
Paulo Musto, as everybody knows, from the Montreal Black Knights, was a legal pickup by the Newfoundland Black Horse. The B provinces in the Canadian Ball Hockey Association are allowed to pick up to 5 players from A provinces, and they've taken the advantage to pick up Paulo Musto, Mike Stinziani, and Joey D'Amico.
Excellent utilization of the pickup policy that the Canadian Ball Hockey Association offers all the members to give these national championships that added spice of competition and glory. Sweetland now. He'll shoot just wide. Beauchamp. Barber feeds an open area, and Pender can't get there. And here comes Corbet. 35 seconds left with an opportunity. Corbet sees Frechette go to the net, and Frechette tries to bang it, but can't. Owens now turns. He'll settle it down and gladly kill off a few more seconds as Newfoundland 20 seconds away from deleting this 4-man disadvantage. Waugh, who senses one more chance, and he'll fire. Barlow will save it. Ball will go out of play, and with 6:52 remaining in the first period, we remain 1-0 Red Light. Newfoundland Black Horse 4-0 in the round robin, the only undefeated team in the round robin, and of course winning their semifinal match. They have yet to taste defeat in this tournament. Montreal Red Light, surprising tie opening night versus Saskatchewan, and then a late round robin loss to Calgary, which they avenged in the semifinal. Musto banks one off D'Amico with 3 seconds left. They'll have one more chance. Beijing shoots. Barlow. Great save, Timmy Barlow, right at the expiration of the power play. Teams are at full strength now as Newfoundland makes a change. Stinziani, Escott, and Sweetland hop over the boards as Legris, the goal scorer for Red Light, gets prepared to take the draw. Wins it. Beijing sends it down low to Lebrun. Legris. Musto chases it down for Newfoundland Black Horse. Legris will get there first and fire it back to Beijing, but he's displaced by Stinziani. Sweetland with the sweet move to the forehand. Shoots! Just wide. Julien Brunet can't get it out as Musto pinches in from his defense position. Ghilarducci tries to get it out. Sweetland there. D'Amico sends it to Escott. He'll dump it in. Serge Beijing now for Red Light. Beijing fires it and gets it out. And it's offside as the ball clearly passed the red line before Newfoundland was able to gain possession, and Sweetland was offside.
Big Chris Sparks on the Newfoundland squad, number 43. He's no stranger to championships. He won a U.S. college championship with the University of Southern Maine. He won an Allen Cup champion with Newfoundland in 2010, and he also won a Canadian Ball Hockey Championship in 2010 with this very same Newfoundland Black Horse.
Great player. Lots of ice hockey experience on this Newfoundland Black Horse team, as well as the Red Light. As number 10, Mathieu Duguay sends it deep to Dussault. Dussault sends it back as Red Light tries to keep on the pressure. Goes in front. Barlow sends it off to the behind the net, and Dyke is there to retreat, and Parks will chip it ahead, but not out as Mateo Stoico keeps it in. He feeds Dussault. Cross to Mathieu Duguay, and that's just wide. Dussault To the forehand. He'll let one rip, but that's blocked. As Brennan gets it to Parks, and Parks will feed it ahead to Owens on the 2-on-1 with Warden. Gets it to Warden. Pad save, Beauchamp. Here comes Gilbert. He'll shoot one that eludes Tim Barlow, who was surprised at the speed of that shot.
Sam Beauchamp with the Montreal Red Light playing in goal. What a fantastic save he just made. Had a great game last night against the Calgary Phantoms, who fell just short. Ended up winning CBHA National Championship bronze today, so congratulations to the Calgary Phantoms.
Congratulations to the Phantoms indeed. As Dampy Brar picks up another bronze medal to join his bronze medal in Winnipeg with those Mississauga Hawks. As the ball is flipped out by Pender. Off the ceiling, 4:39 left in the first. Of course, Edmonton hosting the national championships for the first time since 1995, where a young Tony Iannito led his Montreal Storm into Edmonton to win Quebec's first men's national gold medal. Wow. To Vargas Diaz. He'll shoot. Pad save, Barlow. He's had to come up big with a couple of saves as Bishop wheels and turns. Feeds it to Doolin. Doolin back to Pender. And he wires one. Past the outstretched arms of Beauchamp. Pender, physical with Vargas Diaz. And he wins that battle. Bishop, behind the net. Bishop, patient. Patient behind the net. Wheeling, dealing, and tries to flip it by Brunet. But Brunet stops him in his track. Back to Pender. Pender, he'll move around Vargas. He'll fire! And that'll get deflected and out of play with 3:52 left in a 1-0 Red Light advantage.
Jeremy Bishop, number 98 for the Newfoundland Black Horse, setting up in his office behind the net there. You know, I was very lucky to be part of the men's team Canada in 2009. Jeremy was on that team. And, you know, the hands, the vision, the passing of this man, you know, it kind of reminds me, I hate to say it, but he's got that Gretzky-like vision on that floor.
Yes, anytime someone sets up behind the net in this sport, in this country, all you think about is that number 99, Gretzky's office. Daou now. Back to Gertin. As he finds the 5-hole. As Barlow not quick enough to close the pads. And Montreal Red Light, with 3:34 left in the first period, has taken a 2-0 lead on the blast by Nicolas Gertin.
You know, Elio, these Montreal Red Light teams, they come in these tournaments and they start out a little slow, as they did this year, playing Saskatchewan to a 2-2 tie. But ever since then, they've just been winding like a clock.
Newfoundland now backs up against the wall, down 2-0. This is something they haven't seen in this tournament, a deficit, and now face not a 1-goal but a 2-goal disadvantage against a team that's clearly playing their best hockey of the week. Montreal Red Light behind Sean Legris and Nicolas Gertin lead 2-0. Approaching the 17-minute mark in the first period, as Joe Daou with a nifty setup helps give Red Light a 2-goal cushion here. Face off in the Red Light zone. Legris against Warden. Legris to Bégin. Simon Forest and Bégin, the partnership on the back end right now. Legris, he'll dump it in. Newfoundland will retreat and turn, but good forechecking there by Julien Brunet. As Simon Forest has an opportunity. Ricochet out of play with 3:03 left. The other time Edmonton hosted the Nationals, 1991, where George Gortzos led the Toronto Top Guns to a national title right here in Edmonton, beating the Edmonton West Stars in a classic final.
Elio will have to give a big shout out to the referees for today's men's national championship final game. Darsh Graywall from British Columbia Ian Hollett from Newfoundland, Labrador. And our goal judges, Brandon Hillis from Ontario and Melissa Muir from the Manitoba Ball Hockey Association.
Newfoundland now tries to get in the zone, and that's thwarted. Luc Dussault along the boards. He'll feed Duguay, but that'll force Mateo Stoico to retreat for Red Light. Red Light with a 2-goal advantage. 2 minutes and 30 seconds remain. Duguay sends it up to Vargas Diaz. Diaz sends it behind the net. Little too far for LeBron. And Newfoundland comes back. Doolin looking for a pass as Pender then hits Barber, who able to deflect it in the zone. And Brunet is back. Brunet to Dominic Morency. Jeremy Brunet having a great tournament along with his defensive teammates. Morency, wow. Gertin, clinical in the breakout. Gertin to the forehand. Can't get anything on it. Vargas Diaz forced a turnover. Brunet with the shot. Barlow turns that aside. Musto and Vargas Diaz are behind the net. Vargas Diaz wins that battle. Curls to his forehand. Stick handles. Tries to create space along the wall, but Musto's equal to the task. Vargas Diaz, though, still retains possession. Feeds Gertin, who has a shot. And Barlow, key save late in the first. Sweetland then tries to get it out, but Wah. Pass gets up to Stinziani. Stinziani with the forehand. And Beauchamp with the save. 1:04 left in this first period. An exciting first period from Edmonton. Montreal Red Light holding on to a 2-0 lead on goals by Legris and Gertin. Newfoundland Black Horse, 2010 champs, as we've mentioned. A lot of veteran leadership on this team, led by number 14, Terry Ryan. No deficit is insurmountable in their eyes. Ryan wheels it back to Parks. Parks in front of the net! And a great chance for Wadden, but he can't connect. Back it goes along the wall. Wadden and Gallarducci battling along the boards. Wadden now with Simon Forest. Tenacious forechecking by Newfoundland Black Horse. Tries to get it back to the point. And a nice pinch in by Mike Dyke. Forces Benoit Gilbert to have to clear it out. And the face-off will go in the red light zone with 28 seconds remaining.
Big battle in front of the net there between Newfoundland's number 14, Terry Ryan, and Montreal Red Light number 44, Carl Gillarducci, the young star defenseman coming up out of Quebec.
Great battles here in Edmonton. Less than 30 seconds remaining. No team wants to surrender that late first period goal. It's one of my former teammates always says momentum is huge. Going into the second period, you don't want to allow that goal. Scoring one's a bonus, Mike. Allowing one is a backbreaker late in championship games, first periods. So we reset with 18.3 seconds left in the Newfoundland Black Horse zone. Big draw, Stinziani and LeBron. Red Light holding to a 2-0 advantage. Won by Stinziani, and O'Keefe will clear it out, but he'll give it away. Legris with a chance. And that deflects off LeBron with less than 10 seconds left. O'Keefe looks at the clock, and he'll retreat behind the net and be all too happy to end this period for Newfoundland. But goals by Legris and Gertin have staked 7-time national champion Montreal Red Light to a 2-0 advantage over the 2010 national champion Newfoundland Black Horse. First period intermission is here. You're watching the National Men's Gold Medal Game on the Canadian Ball Hockey Championship Network. We'll be back with further analysis momentarily. Welcome back to Edmonton and the 2012 Canadian Ball Hockey Championships, the men's gold medal game between Montreal Red Light and Newfoundland Black Horse. And of course, Mike, this championship takes on added importance with Newfoundland being in the final.
Absolutely. You cannot go this week without mentioning the passing of CBHA Hall of Fame player Sean Donovan. Sean Donovan was a captain of one of the greatest teams in the history of our sport. Sean's leadership and skills allowed the Best Western Travelers to win national championships in 1987 and 1988 for his beloved province of Newfoundland. He was a pivotal player on the Travelers' power play and also a stopper against the top players on other teams. We will certainly miss him, and absolutely thinking about him today as Newfoundland is in this national championship final.
Exactly, as he was definitely one of the leaders on that back-to-back championship team. And I can tell you firsthand, there were a couple of Ontario teams that went there, and Best Western Travelers won the gold, and Sean Donovan was a big part of that, and we miss him dearly. But we salute his province as they are going for a 6th national championship to build on that history created by guys like Sean Donovan and Dickie Power. Well, second period. Action getting ready to start here. Montreal Red Light, 20 minutes away from their 8th national championship, a record in Canadian ball hockey. Newfoundland Black Horse will have something to say if they can, but they'll need to score 2 at least to even this one. Musto, he'll turn around, but Mateo Stoico reads that nicely. D'Amico battling along the boards. D'Amico wins that battle and still retains possession. Tries to dump it in, but can't. And now the delayed offside is called. As Red Light comes back with Nicolas Guétin. Chris Parks now lumbering down the floor. Parks takes a shot, but Bejan is there. Down low to number 11. Patrick O'Keefe with the turnaround swipe. But Sam Beauchamp is there to make the save.
Patrick O'Keefe, we mentioned him earlier, is a graduate of the Junior Team Canada program. He played on the 2008 World Championship team for Canada that won gold in Newfoundland.
Patrick O'Keefe having a great tournament as Simon Forest gets it out and bounces it off Pender, and Morency is there as Barlow comes out, whips it off the glass, and they're going to say it deflected off the glass before it hit the net. Therefore, play is blown dead and no delay game penalty to Tim Barlow. Of course, a lot more at stake in this game as well, as 5 players get selected automatically from the game team that wins this game for Team Canada men's national team, as the ISBHF World Championships will take place next June in Canada in St. John's, Newfoundland. Ryan now looking to create, sends it down low to Parks, and Beauchamp makes the save. Simon Forest hustles back to get the ball out of play. But that's another thing, Mike, these teams are going for, because next year in June, as I mentioned, the International Street and Ball Hockey Federation will have their World Championships in St. John's, Newfoundland, and that's an honor to represent our country for these men.
Absolutely. There's a lot of gentlemen that are playing in this game today that have already represented Canada on the international stage. And, we also spoke of Hall of Famers earlier. And, there's a lot of players on this floor that are shoo-ins to the Canadian Ball Hockey Association Hall of Fames once they're done their careers.
Dooland for Newfoundland gets it in deep to Justin Barber. Barber looking for something, reverts back to Dooland. Dooland with a little bit of time. He fans on the pass out, but still succeed as Barber gets possession down low. Newfoundland Desperately trying to get back in this one as Bishop has an opportunity. And that'll be swatted out by Sean Legree. Down the floor. Dyke will retreat. He'll send it down for Doolin. Doolin to Barber, and Barber fires one. Rebound Bishop. And Corbet sends it up to Lebrun. Mathieu Lebrun gains the zone. Feeds Mateo Stoico. He'll fire. And that's deflected just wide by Maxime Duguay. Duguay battling with Musto. And Stinziani sees something. Stinziani gets by Corbet. Stoico chases him down, but Stinziani can't finish on the backhand. D'Amico chases down Duguay. Sweetland now. Sweetland one-on-one to the forehand. He'll feed Stinziani. Stinziani sends it into the slot, wide open. Sweetland gets it back to Pender. He'll fire. Deflected just wide. Ghilarducci now. He'll send it down. Ghilarducci with a second attempt, and he'll succeed as Maxime Duguay sends it down and gets off. Pender battles Ghilarducci, who wins it and shoots. And now we're going to have a penalty coming up to Justin Pender as he'll be called on the cross check.
Certainly not the time to become undisciplined in this game, Elio. You know, it's only a 2-0 lead. Newfoundland is far from out of this game. You know, take those 4-minute stick penalties, and to be down 4 minutes and lose one of your best players on the floor that has been putting the ball in the net, certainly not a good scenario for Newfoundland.
Yes, a double dose of negativism for Newfoundland, as not only do they have to serve and kill a 4-minute penalty, the man serving the penalty is probably one of their best penalty killers, Justin Pender. Nonetheless, with 16:31 remaining, second period, the vaunted Montreal Red Light power play takes over. The captain, the leader. Wow. He'll fire it right on. And Barlow stick handles it out of danger. Of course, mentioning that World Championship, we have a dignitary from the International Street and Ball Hockey Federation present, all the way from Switzerland. Christoph Kershaw is here, enjoying the sights and sounds that Canadian ball hockey has to offer. And he'll be there in St. John's, Newfoundland, in support of that great World Championship tournament hosted by the ISBHF, as Devereaux on the pretty passing play from Roy and Frechette. And that makes it 3-0 Red Lights. Clinical in their approach and clinical in their execution. No mistake there, Mike. 3-goal lead.
Wow, what a deadly power play. Joe Dow setting up in the slot, taking a pass from the left side, and one timing it on the blocker side past Tim Barlow, the Newfoundland netminder.
Great goal on the power play. Of course, Pender still has to serve the remaining 4 minutes and a whistle, but Red Light with a stranglehold on this national championship. Up 3-0 with 16 minutes left on the clock. Frechette tries to get by Musto, but can't. Doolin sends it in deep, but Barber had to hold up. Simon Forest on the given goal. Pretty over the blue line. Looks towards in front. And almost hits Guertin. D'Amico now. Joey D'Amico to Musto. Up to Barber. But Forest is there for Red Light, and he'll retreat. Montreal Red Light 15 minutes away from reclaiming that national championship gold medal that they've been searching for since their last one, 2007, in St. John, New Brunswick. Brunet feeds Legree, who tries to score on Barlow, but can't. And here comes Newfoundland with an opportunity. Doolin tries to chip it ahead, but Mateo Stoico is there. Curls and gives it to Corbier. He'll send it down and out. Owens feeds Sweetland, but Sweetland can't get by that powerful defenseman of Red Light, Stoico. Stoico sends it deep for Vargas Diaz, a little too far, and that'll be blown dead for icing. You're watching live coverage of the 2012 National Ball Hockey Championships from Edmonton, Alberta on the Canadian Ball Hockey Championship Network. Elio Pascuzzo alongside Mike Schweigart. 3-0. Montreal Red Light leads Newfoundland Black Horse.
Well, Elio, looks like the Montreal Red Light are on for a Canadian Ball Hockey Association record. They're online for their 8th national championship. Newfoundland needs to step it up here. They haven't been able to put the ball in the net. They have had very few shots in this game, which is very reminiscent of when they won in 2010, and they held the Midnight Express to 8 shots in that final game to win 2-0.
Yes, the Express, the other team with 7 national championships, tied with the Red Light. Morency now, as we have a delayed call, and it looks to be a slashing call to Nelson Vargas Diaz. So Newfoundland Black Horse will go on the power play with an opportunity to close the gap here. Lots of time still remain in this encounter. 14:06 left in the second period. Nelson Vargas Diaz, 4 minutes for slashing. And Newfoundland onto the power play. Draw one by Red Light, and Wah will just send it down, but off the netting. Face off just outside the Red Light blue line. Newfoundland trying to get on the board here in this national final. Musto looks for an opening, feeds it to Escott. Escott gets it in. And a diving play by Sean Legris keeps it out. Musto now. Musto patiently trying to see an opening that they can get the possession. Musto slowly getting there. And he will succeed. But Wadden is pressured off the ball, and Wah just sends it down. 3:20 left. Big power play opportunity for the Newfoundland Black Horse team now. Got to get one soon. Musto doesn't get it in as Frechette battles, but does get it in after. Sweetland over to Parks. Rebound. Beauchamp with the save. And even 3 minutes remain in the second period here in Edmonton. Red Light continuing to lead. Legris with an early goal to get him on the board. Then Gertin scoring. And Red Light was well on their way to establishing their dominance in this game. Now they'll just have to kill off 3 more minutes to keep that 3-goal lead intact. Sweetland shoots. Rebound. Cinciani. Parks. Wadded out. Sweetland to Bishop. Back to Sweetland. Newfoundland coming close. Owens fans on it. Back up high to Sweetland. He'll wrist it. And Beauchamp calmly snares that one out of the air. And 2:35 remains in this power play opportunity for Newfoundland. Of course, these teams met in an epic semifinal in 2010. St. John's, Newfoundland was the venue, and Black Horse came on top that evening. Sweetland, Bishop, he'll shoot and Chip with the blast on the power play. And it's 3-1 Red Light, and Newfoundland is back in this game with 12:33 to go. Pretty feed from Sweetland.
Well, Elio, we mentioned Jeremy Bishop and his offensive talent earlier. He just showed us a little taste of it there, drawing the Newfoundland squad to a 3-1 deficit. But they look like they're coming back on the power play.
Major power play goal by Newfoundland Blackhorse. Let's see if they'll get an offensive surge as a result. Stinziani curls around. Stinziani creates space right in front. Enough. Escott with the chance. And Frechette calmly feeds Gertin, who sees an open down. Daou with the move. And he... Joe Daou answers right away for Red Lights. A mere seconds after Newfoundland had that great opportunity, Gertin feeds Daou, and it's 4-1. Montreal Red Lights, 12-14 left in the second.
Wow. Wow is all you can say, Elio. Joe Daou getting the ball, making a move and beating the Tim Barlow, the Newfoundland netminder, for his second goal of the game.
Three-goal advantage restored, and Newfoundland Blackhorse with 12 minutes left to overturn it. Ryan. Owens. Wadden. Back to Parks. He'll shoot. Just wide. Beauchamps redirects it into the corner. Ryan beats the red light player to it. Wadden. Over to Ryan. Ryan with time. Looking for Owens. He'll try to feed Owens. And that'll just slide by. Parks in there. Dyke keeps it in and fires it in. Good pressure by Newfoundland now. As Legrin dives and clears the ball out. 11:30 remains in this second period. Red Light reestablishing that 3-goal lead behind Joe Daou. Nifty deke around Barlow. Dussault and Bishop on the draw in the red light end as play is halted. As Beishan takes care of his goalie.
Jonathan Daou for the Montreal Red Light, no stranger to championships. 2007, winning a gold medal with Canada. He was the tournament's most valuable player, and in winning gold for Canada in 2011 in Rattingen, Germany.
Lots of former national team players on these two teams as Pender fires one and Beauchamp makes the glove save. Of course, next year's World Championships will offer some of these players another opportunity to represent our great nation at the World Championships in St. John's, Newfoundland in June of 2013. Bishop wins the draw. It'll get back and fired by O'Keefe, and Beauchamp is asked to make another save. 8:39 into the second period. Red Light, 11 minutes and 21 seconds away from history. Bishop loses it, and Gilardacci turns it over to Barber. Barber now. Barber battling along the boards for Newfoundland. Bishop turns, shoots, and that's deflected. Barber again. Dussault. Luke Dussault. Brennan sends it back in. And Red Light is forced to retreat. Legri, he's the goal scorer. He got Red Light on the board early on. Stoico off to Benoit Gilbert. Pender intercepts Morency on him. Dominic Morency with Pendor. And Pender wins that battle, but Bernay picks up the junk. And that's tried to fed Stadziani. But Matteo Stoico intercepts and turns, wheels, goes to the backhand, to the forehand, shoots. Barlow with the save. Pender then feeds Stinziani. Just gets by him, and Corbet will battle with Stinziani. Corbet shielding the ball. An even 10 minutes remains in the second period. Rebound, Stinziani off that fire from the point. Stinziani back to Musto. Stinziani gets that ball off the ricochet. Musto to O'Keefe. He'll shoot. And Beauchamp will make the save and cover up with 9:47 remaining in this second period from Edmonton.
The Newfoundland Black Horse, despite being down 3 goals in this game, they are coming back. They're putting a lot of pressure on. They can keep it going, get another goal in the next minute or two here, Elio. We may have a very good finish to this game. I don't think I recall ever seeing a game at the Nationals that I've been at that went into overtime.
Yes, we'd have to go back far in history. We'd have to get the chief statistician George Gortzos on that one very quickly to fire us that information. Terry Ryan behind the net. Parks. Still battling. Ryan. Newfoundland knows time is of essence. Gertin. And here comes Dow. 2-on-1 with Frechette. Dow fakes. Give and go. Great save, Barlow. On the give and go with Simon Forest. As words are exchanged with D'Amico and Gertin. Referee steps in to calm those hostilities. 9:17 remaining in the second period. Newfoundland Black Horse trying to reclaim that national championship from 2010. Will have to score 3 goals while not allowing any to force overtime. Red Light, on the other hand, very comfortable playing with the lead. A lot of offensive firepower on this Red Light team. Dyke sends it back to Owens. Owens. He'll turn and send it ahead. Barber. Cross pass doesn't succeed. Brune sends it back. Dyke sends it in. Beauchamp will stop and hold with 8:57 remaining on the clock. Mike, this Newfoundland Black Horse team hasn't had to come back at all during the tournament, and falling behind a couple of goals, they've really faced an uphill battle all the way through.
This is a place that this team has not been throughout this tournament. They have not held a deficit to any team in any one of their games. So they're coming out of a little unfamiliar territory here this week.
Red Light behind Waugh. Regains possession, and Jeremy Brunet backhands it blindly, but Dyke is there to pinch. Barber wheels to his forehand, being hounded by Lebrun. Bishop along the wall for Newfoundland. Bishop to the forehand, shoots, rebound. Forest, he'll feed Vargas Diaz. Diaz with a nice move. Still backhands and gets an attempt. And Barlow makes a big save, and Newfoundland is forced to ice it. Montreal Red Light, 8 minutes and 5 seconds away from reclaiming their national championship gold medal. Pender to O'Keefe. O'Keefe sends it out, and Stoico retreats for Red Light. Less than 8 minutes remaining. Morency. Gilbert. Benoit Gilbert sends it in deep. And Pender retreats. Justin Pender. Off Vargas Diaz legs. O'Keefe. Barlow chips it around. And Pender will get there with Vargas Diaz and Morency. Vargas Diaz sends it in front to Gilbert. And O'Keefe blocks that attempt. Stoico. Still Stoico. Stoico calmly cycles it down low for Vargas Diaz. Red Light applying pressure out the line of Gilbert. Vargas Diaz and Morency. Morency on the feed from Vargas Diaz. Just skittles wide. Vargas Diaz still. Stinziani can't get it out. Sweetland now tries to gain the zone, but Stinziani was just in ahead of the play, and offside is called. Just under 7 minutes remaining in Edmonton. 4-1, Montreal Red Light with the advantage over Newfoundland Black Horse.
This week, Elio, we've seen a few of the great Alberta players around the arena. One that comes to mind right now, Doug McCarthy, CBHA Hall of Famer, who we've seen around the rink. Hopefully we'll have an opportunity to see him at the Canadian Ball Hockey Association awards banquet this evening.
Yes, the tradition of the awards banquet for this great national championships follows both gold medal games, and it should be a great event that everybody looks forward to. Of course, Doug McCarthy played at several nationals. He's also a member of Team Canada, and he is an inductee into the CBHA Hall of Fame.
Doug McCarthy also a member of the inaugural 2010 Masters national team over 40 in Bratislava, where the team went over and claimed a silver medal. Looking forward this September to going to Pilsen, Czech Republic, as a GM of the team myself. And beside me is one of the players, Elio Pascuzzo, who will be donning his international jersey and wearing the Maple Leaf for Canada for the very first time.
Thank you, Mike. I'm very honored to represent our great nation and have an opportunity to experience that World Masters in Pilsen, Czech Republic, September 17th to 27th. Back to the point, Bishop fires. Beauchamp with the save. Of course, this week, all of the divisions in this great tournament were named after some great ball hockey players out of this province. Malcolm Stinson division. Malcolm Stinson played at 12 nationals for teams like the Edmonton Playboys, Nordiques, and Snipers. Won 2 silvers and 6 bronze medals over his great career. Shirley Cameron from Edmonton Old Abbey, a 4-time national medalist, had her name named after division. And Holly Malinowski, a great defenseman with a booming shot. She was also on that Old Abbey team that reached national prominence. 5:41 left as Wadden feeds it in. Beauchamp with the backhand to Matteo Stoico. Stoico tries to get it out, and that'll ricochet off the ceiling with 5:31 left. Montreal Red Light still maintains the 3-goal advantage.
You know, you mentioned these great people from the province of Alberta that have been members of the Canadian Ball Hockey Association for a very long time. You know, you're looking at builders of the sport like Steve Posovic. You know, the great president they have now for Wild Rose Ball Hockey Association, John Leosis, who continues on the tradition of leadership in this great province of Alberta.
Yes, and the Wild Rose Ball Hockey Association has put on a great event as Red Light looks for that final back-breaking goal, but not yet. Sweetland to the forehand. O'Keefe on the pinch, and that'll get sent down the length of the floor as Forrest chases it down, but 5:08 remains between Montreal Red Light and history here as they lead 4-1 over Newfoundland Black Horse. Of course, this tournament has had a long history dating back to the late 70s when Tony Miniacci led his York Canadians to 2 national championships. Proceeded through the 80s where 4 different provinces tasted gold. And then, of course, the Express and Red Light dominance over a decade and a half. And now Red Light tries to regain it as Ryan has an opportunity in front of the net as the clock passes the 5-minute mark remaining in the second period here in Edmonton. Parks on the draw now for Newfoundland. They'll have to get one soon. Wadden with a shot off the feed from Ryan. And Dussault. Up to Duguay. Back to Dussault. Ryan now. Backhands it to Wadden. He'll shoot. And Jeremy Brunet. Johnny on the spot to block that shot with 4:37 left in the second. As we mentioned, a long history for men's championships, of course, coming back to Edmonton for the first time since 1995, and also coming back to Alberta for the first time since 2005 as Calgary hosted that event, where this red light team tasted gold, defeating the Express in that final. Frechette. Gertin to Dao. Tries to get it back to Gertin. And another stoppage in play with 4:24 left.
We've been speaking today, Elio, about the great men's and women's programs across Canada this week. But you can never forget to include the great minor programs that go from coast to coast in feeding the grassroots, feeding these adult programs to these national championships. I think we owe a big thank you to all of the volunteers at the minor ball hockey associations across Canada for the great work that they do.
Yes, the Canadian Ball Hockey Association minor programs. Players playing as young as 4 years old, right up until their junior years, and then graduating into some great men's and women's programs. As Barber lets one rip for Newfoundland. And also the growth of the Masters programs now, as players in their 30s, 40s are also playing ball hockey. This great sport ranges ages anywhere, all over the spectrum. Men and women can play. Kids, boys, girls, get out to a rink near you and play some ball hockey in the CBHA soon. Another attempt for Newfoundland, and Beauchamp makes the save. .356 remains from Edmonton. Millwoods Recreation Center, the venue. Elio Pascuzzo alongside Mike Schweigart and Samantha McLeod on the camera, bringing you live action of the gold medal game between Newfoundland Black Horse and Montreal Red Light. Stinziani battles with Beauchamp and Beijing for possession. Net is displaced as referee Grewal makes the call.
Yes, Darsh Grewal, one of the top referees not only in this country but internationally as well. He's done a fantastic job. That'd be an interesting stat for Coach Gortzos to dig up there. How many nationals that Darsh Grewal has officiated at?
Yes, a veteran official. Done many high-caliber games. 3:38 remaining. Opportunity. Newfoundland on the power play as Serge Bejen goes off for roughing. Lebrun sends it deep. Forces Newfoundland to retreat. Time running out on Black Horse if they want to force overtime here. Sweetland gains the zone but loses possession. And now Lebrun with a breakaway, shorthanded. Lebrun to the backhand, and Barlow denies. Lebrun still trying to kill time, as Sweetland doesn't know the ball is coming, and Legris takes over and kills another few valuable seconds. Less than 3 minutes to play in regulation. Bender. Newfoundland desperately trying to get a goal here. Back to Pender. He'll keep it in. Bishop tries to feed it through and gets it to Escott. Escott with time. Back to Bishop. Pender to Bishop. Cross pass is intercepted by Nelson Vargas Diaz, and that will go out of play with 2:23 left. .45 seconds remain in this Newfoundland Black Horse advantage, with the draw coming to the right of Sam Beauchamp.
Elio, we had over just near 400 players competing here this week. You know, you add the staff and everybody into it. It just gives you a good idea what it takes to go into organizing a team for this event, traveling from across Canada, hotels, airfare, car, uniforms, equipment, team staff, you know, all the hours that these people put in during the year, all culminates to this one event here at the National Championships here in Edmonton.
Yes, a lot of volunteers helping to put this great event together. All these players here, teams represented coast to coast in the men's and women's division. As Edmonton hosting the championships for the first time in 17 years. Already the Toronto Shamrocks have claimed women's gold. Who will claim men's gold? Well, we're 2 minutes and 23 seconds away, and Montreal Red Light can taste it. They'll still have to kill off another 45 seconds of a Newfoundland power play to get there, but the bench is eager to see this last 143 seconds dissipate. Corbet sends it all the way down and just wide as Newfoundland has pulled their goalie for the extra attacker. 35 seconds left in this man advantage. Newfoundland with 6 bodies on the floor. Ball goes in deep. Beauchamp. He'll whip it around the boards. Newfoundland there first. They'll regain possession. Musto. Pender. Feed it wide. Blast by Wyden. Just wide. Stinziani behind the net. He'll get it in front to Parks. Scores! Chris Parks on the power play. 1:48 left. Newfoundland has life. Down 4-2 on the nice feed from Stinziani. 10 seconds away from killing that penalty was Red Light. But Black Horse get a goal to give them some life. Down 2 with 1:48 left. Montreal Red Light now knows this game ain't over. Newfoundland will make them earn it, and they'll take a 30-second timeout. Musto now sends it in deep. Beauchamp covers and squeezes as Newfoundland pulls the goalie.
It's mine. What does it say?
Pender. Pender wrists it towards, but not far enough. And Red Light, Vargas Diaz chips it in. Off the post. And Vargas Diaz picks it up and scores. (5-2) Red Light. And that will clinch their record 8th national championship. As the initial dump-in goes off the post on the empty net, and Vargas Diaz picks up the junk and fires it home to put Red Light into the history books.
All the fans here today, all the fans across Canada and watching from around the world are looking at Canadian Ball Hockey Championship history today.
Well, there's still 81 seconds remaining, and Newfoundland will try to get a quick one back. Barber sends it down. Simon Forest to Dussault. Legre, he'll send it into the bench. 104 away from reclaiming that elusive national title is Montreal Red Light.
As you can see, Elio, on the other side of the arena, the men's national championship trophy is being carried to the timekeeper's bench to be handed out here shortly with 1 minute left in the game.
Owens feeds it to Barber. Owens with the blast. Beauchamp with the save with less than 1 minute remaining in this national championship. Gold medal game, of course, congratulations go out to Flora Panunzio and the Toronto Shamrocks as they win their first national championship and join teams like Canadiana Cougars, Toronto Predators, and Vanier United with their name on that elusive championship trophy.
You know, Elio, it's just as exciting to watch somebody win their first national championship as it is to watch their eighth.
Yes, 55 seconds still remain in this one. Ghilarducci for Red Light. In no rush. He'll force Bishop to do something. Ghilarducci to Brunet. Julien Brunet off the boards to Duguay. Duguay sends it back, but here comes Barber. Bishop up to Barber. He'll feed it in, but Ghilarducci will be there. Red Light fails to get it out. Owens shoots it towards the net. As O'Keefe dives for that loose ball. But here comes Brunet. 20 seconds left. And Owens clips him. And he'll be called for the body checking penalty. Number 45, Chris Owens with the trip. But it's all academic now with 12 seconds left. Red Light can taste it. They're 12 seconds away from winning the gold medal. As the face-off will come back outside or inside the Newfoundland zone to the left of goalie Tim Barlow. All Red Light has to do now is win a draw and retain possession, and they will be crowned national champions. As Newfoundland sends it down. Beauchamp retrieves it. 10 seconds left. Red Light makes history, becoming the first team to win 8 national championships as they defeat Newfoundland 5-2 and win their first national title since 2007. And everybody storms goalie Sam Beauchamp as Montreal Red Light convincingly in their semifinal victory over Calgary and convincingly in their final victory over Newfoundland Black Horse reclaims that national championship that's eluded them over the last 4 national championships. Newfoundland Black Horse, all full value to them for a great tournament. They suffer their first loss in the final, but they are the 2010 national champions, but will have to settle for silver this time around.
Absolutely. Those men on the floor from Newfoundland put on a great tournament, a great performance. You know, these guys come here with their heart on their sleeves, playing for their province of Newfoundland. There's a lot of provincial pride there, and these guys have nothing to hang their head about.
Both teams should be commended as they were the favorites coming in. But Red Lite is crowned champions today in Edmonton. We'll be back with the medal presentations momentarily. Welcome back to Millwoods Recreation Center in Edmonton, Alberta, as we have just witnessed Montreal Red Lite defeating the Newfoundland Black Horse by a score of 5-2 to claim their record 8th national championship, their first since 2007. And now, CBHA Vice President International Tony Iannito and Vice President in the men's division Jason Bayani, alongside Wild Rose Ball Hockey Association President John Leosis, will present the silver medals to the Newfoundland Black Horse, emblematic of their final standing in the 2012 National Championships. Congratulations to all of the following players: Tim Barlow, Justin Barber, Sean Wadden, Andrew Sweetland, Patrick O'Keefe, Jordan Escott, Tyler Gale, Joey D'Amico, Mike Dyke, Andrew Brennan, Justin Pender, Chris Parks, Chris Owens, Andrew Dooland, Mike Stinziani, Paolo Musto, Jeremy Bishop, and Sean Fagan. Of course, we mentioned Andrew Sweetland. He had that gold medal put around his neck in 2010. Tough to lose a championship game, but Newfoundland Black Horse will be back in 2013 to challenge in Montreal.
Yes, Elio. Next year's events for the CBHA, we're going to some great cities. We're going to be going to Montreal, as you mentioned, for the 2012 Men's and Women's National Championship. 2013. The Western Regional Championships are going to be in Alberta next year, with the Wild Rose Ball Hockey Association going to be accepting bids from its proud member leagues.
Lots of events next year to be proud of. Junior Nationals, Eastern Regionals as well will be announced shortly. The CBHA puts on great events for their membership. Coast to coast, players and teams can aspire to not only be the best locally, but also provincially, regionally, and nationally. And we look forward to the World Championships that the ISBHF will host in Canada at St. John's, Newfoundland in 2013 to give players the ability to be crowned international champions as well. Well done for the Newfoundland Black Horse, your 2012 silver medalists. And now the presentation of the medals to the gold medalist Montreal Red Lite. As we mentioned, they claimed their first gold medal since '07. Congratulations to all of the Montreal Red Lite players. Sam Beauchamp, JF Omey, Nelson Vargas Diaz, Mathieu Duguay, Mathieu Lebrun, Luc Dussault, Serge Beijing, Nicolas Gertin, Maxime Duguay, Yannick Lebante, Martin Corbil, Ian Fontaine, Julien Brunet, Carlo Ghilarducci, Matteo Stoico, Benoit Gilbert, Paul Roy, Jeremy Brunet, Simon Forest, Dominique Morency, Martin Frechette, Jonathan Daou, and Sean Legris. Congratulations to the Montreal Red Lite, and also a heartfelt congratulations to head coach Ian Moores with Newfoundland as he adds to his national medal tally. But today, all the glory goes to Montreal Red Lite as they claim their record 8th national championship. And Montreal will be host in 2013, so maybe they will be there to go for 9. On behalf of Elio Pascuzzo, Mike Schweigart, and Samantha McLeod, stick around as we will have the trophy presentation momentarily.
Athletes have the captain of the Red Lite come and accept the national championship trophy.
Welcome back to Edmonton as Wild Rose Ball Hockey President John Leosis gets set to present Paul Roy, Mathieu Lebrun, and Martin Frechette with the National Championship Trophy, emblematic of ball hockey supremacy in the men's division for 2012. Congratulations to Montreal Red Lite. They've lifted a trophy before. They've lifted the national trophy 7 times prior today, but today will make 8, and they'll be the first to do so in Canada. Congratulations to Montreal Red Lite on achieving history with their 8th national championship. A great week of ball hockey culminates with Toronto Shamrocks winning their first nationals and Montreal Red Lite claiming their 8th.
Thank you to you, Elio. It's been a pleasure working beside you doing these web broadcasts, and I look forward to working with you again at some future CBHA events.
The pleasure was all mine, Mike. Great partnership, passion, and pride in everything the CBHA does. On behalf of Mike Schweigart and our camera person, Samantha McLeod, I'm Elio Pascuzzo. Congratulations to Montreal Red Light, your 2012 National Gold Medalists.